Hi, is that Will?
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, nice to speak to you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Do you actually have a gig this evening?
Yeah, I've just come upstairs from soundcheck, actually.
Ah, right, so I believe you're at the Boiler Room in Guildford, is that right?
Yes, in Guildford, yeah.
Oh, right, okay, so you've done your sound check and...
Yeah, exactly. No, it's full band, which I haven't done for a little while, so
Oh, right,
I'm
okay.
sure it's right and stuff. But it's just funny because I'm normally a bit like, yeah, fine, but I kind of need to spend a little bit more time on it now.
Yes. Oh, yes, as you develop more as a...
Yeah, exactly. Then yeah, and also I think as well, like you want to be able to hear yourself and have a good night. The sound is really good today. It's really nice. So.
Yes, I've heard of the venue. I've not been down, but yes, I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like good sound. It's like a nice space. Just a really nice venue, actually.
Yes, and you've been on a bit of a tour recently. We'll come on to that in a moment, but do you want to just give us a bit of background? So, am I right, you're a country-style singer-songwriter?
Yes.
Okay, and how did you start out in music?
So, basically, I think it was just, we found one of my best friends when we were young, I was 12 or so, was learning, and we found a guitar in my attic. Okay. So we would just strum that out of tune and really badly. And then I was learning keyboard, but that kind of turned a switch really, and I just really wanted to get into guitar. Yeah. And then it was kind of like school bands and college and stuff. And then I was playing guitar in a lot of bands, and then just realised actually the thing that I got the most enjoyment from was writing my own songs. Yeah. And then it was never really meant to happen. It's just that I had some demos, and one of my friends was like, well, why don't we make good versions of them? Yeah. And then we got a couple of different singers on and some people to play the rest of it. And then it was such a good experience that just kind of led me doing some gigs, and then I just started working on my own voice, and it just kind of come together really. It was never, I never wanted to be a kind of front man or a singer-songwriter at all, but it just kind of led that way, and now I really, really love it. Yes, so you kind of came into the process organically, really, by the sound of it. Yeah, exactly. I think I felt I was more of a guitarist and songwriter. Yeah. And I never had the confidence to be up front, but basically it just made sense because the lyrics that I write are so personal that we did have another singer in the band to begin with, but it just didn't really quite work. No, to have somebody else sing them. Yeah, exactly. Because it would, but it was just with what I was writing. It was difficult, really. Yeah, it sounds like you've written songs from quite a young age. Yeah. I don't know when I started, but probably like around 12, 13. Yeah. I don't know when I first wrote a good song, but that's another matter. Yeah. But there's always that Neil Young song, Sugar Mountain, which is when he was 19, leaving home. If I could ever write a song that good in my lifetime, he did when he was 19. But yeah, actually, I brought out a song a couple of years ago that I finished it at 27. Right. And I started when I was 16. Oh, right. So that was quite a long journey, that one. Yes. Now, you've spoken already that tonight you're doing a show with a full band, but it sounds like you also perform with just yourself and a guitar. Yeah, occasionally. Quite rarely. I normally have a duo of some sort. Okay. Normally a female singer quite often because I sing quite deep, gravelly. It really adds something, or a violin. Oh right. And that's generally the most common. But on Friday night, I played with a percussionist, so he was playing cajon and some other bits. He basically straps all these different things to his legs, and it sounds great. Yeah. But I'm not really a drummer, so I don't entirely know the process. But that sounded really nice. I had myself, and then a drummer and another singer, and I think actually that was. We played at Troubadour in Earls Court in London, and I think I'd like to do that lineup quite a lot, actually. Yes, now that was just on this Friday gone, wasn't it? Yeah, Yes, how did that go? Oh, it's so good, actually. I love playing there. It's just always such a good atmosphere. The sound's really good. Yeah. The people that work there are lovely. And it was really nice, actually, because I just had a really good moment because it was like a busy Friday night. And, yes. I did a little bit of acoustic bit in the middle, and everyone just was so quiet and really listening. Which is like Friday night, when it's full band rocking out, and it always works. But it's a bit scary sometimes to do the quieter ones. You know, when we're talking like go on 11 in central London on a Friday, you expect most people to be pretty rowdy.
Yes, but it sounds like it was a good audience.
Yeah, lovely audience, and I think it's partly down to it's such a good venue.
Yes, it's Kensington, isn't it?
Yeah, Earls Court. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yes. I think there's been some pretty famous acts on there over the years as well.
Yeah, I think it was Dylan's first gig.
Yes.
In the UK, I think, and then Hendrix was there as well.
Yes.
And then I think anyone on the way up through the years, really.
Which brings me on actually to your style. Now, a couple of people have mentioned there who may be influences. 2 or 3 people: Paul Simon, Neil Young, and Bob Dylan. So, would you say you've got influences from all of those people, or where would you?
Definitely. I mean, Bob Dylan, Neil Young, hugely. Like, I absolutely adore their stuff. Paul Simon, I actually don't know too much of his stuff.
Okay,
I know a couple of songs, but it's funny actually. It's really nice when someone says that, because it's kind of like that means it's good to then delve into their stuff.
Yes, well, I mean,
and also someone like that, they've had such a long, successful career. You might like a really certain, 5-year period in that.
Yes.
Where there might be like other times that might not do so much. There might be a kind of period that just absolutely speaks to you.
Yes. Now, you're also influenced by R.E.M. and Leonard Cohen as well.
Yes, yeah, R.E.M. R.E.M. are like, for me, one of those bands that whatever mood you're in, they've got something that's going to really hit the spot.
Yes.
And it's like a bit. It's funny, actually, a bit like U2 for me, in that the early stuff amazing. There's no other band like it, but even the later stuff, even though it might not be their peak, it's still such good music compared to what else is around.
Yes.
There's not an R.E.M. album that I don't like.
Right.
I just adore Michael Stipe.
Yes.
He really didn't have to do much for me to like it.
Yes.
And Leonard Cohen, I think, a similar vein really, in that like even when it might not be your favourite track melodically, it might be such an incredible poem.
Yes.
That it's still going to draw you in and do something.
Yes.
And I feel like him and Joni Mitchell are the best. For me, are the best lyricists there's ever been.
Okay, so you're influenced by Joni as well.
I mean, not vocally. I wish I could be influenced by vocally, but in the way that she, I don't think I'm anywhere close to her lyrically, but in the way that she writes and is quite descriptive.
Yes.
I definitely an influence.
Yeah, very poetic songs.
Yeah, but also very personal, and also something they both do that I really want to kind of get in. They can be quite funny at times. Yeah.
Oh yes, within the lyrics.
And sometimes it makes a kind of heartbreaking line that comes after it even harder.
Yes. Now that brings me on to actually, because you mentioned you obviously play guitar there. Did you say earlier that you also play a bit of piano as well?
A little bit. So I started on keys first.
Yeah.
So I can play like some simple stuff to write a song.
Oh, right.
Or like a simple song, and I used to do that because sometimes guitar-wise you can go around the same patterns quite a lot.
Yeah.
And then you can switch to a different instrument, and then you have a different angle.
Yes.
But I haven't done that for quite a while. Probably I used to have a piano in my flat, which is ridiculous because I didn't have a TV. There was like no room. It was like a 1-bedroom flat. So we got a piano in there somehow.
Was it a real one rather than an electric?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Like an upright. It was amazing. It must have been so loud. I don't know how my neighbour above didn't complain.
Yes.
But yeah, it was really amazing.
Yeah, it's nice to have a real one. Certainly. Yes. They're becoming rarer these days.
Yeah, I know. I'm in studio flat attendant now, so there's absolutely no chance.
Yes. Well, maybe get an electric one.
I've got. Yeah, it's funny actually. I've got a MIDI one. It goes back to the technology argument.
Ah, right.
And I haven't actually played it yet because I don't know. I like having a real instrument.
Yes.
And it's so handy because it's tiny. You can just plug it straight into your laptop and off you go. And I need to persevere on that front. But it's so much nicer to sit at a piano or sit down with your guitar.
Oh yes. Yes. When it's the real thing, it does make a difference, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I believe you have a new EP out, Call My Name?
Yes.
Well, I say new, it was released last October and features 4 tracks. So do you want to tell us a bit more about how that came about?
So that one, basically, I actually had a message from someone who produced it in the end saying, look, really like the stuff, however, I feel like, there's too much going on some of the tracks. Okay. Why don't you just strip back and do an EP of just you and nothing else?
Oh, right, yes.
The stuff that I did before had like a lot of guitars and saxophone and violin and all this stuff, which is good fun and really good to do. Yeah. But he said, like, why don't you kind of, and also to record it live.
Okay, yeah.
So it's kind of like, we literally just, I put me in a tiny room and just a microphone, and all the tracks, it's just one go, the guitar and the vocals at the same time.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he wanted to just put it out like that, but actually I really wanted pedal steel, which is my favourite instrument, and a little bit of violin on it as well.
Okay, yeah.
And I think it's just right, actually, because it does feel really stripped, but it's just got that little bit of sweetness coming from the violin and pedal steel, just to give it a little bit of lift here and there. Oh, nice. And I was really happy recording that way, and it's funny, actually, because I felt like I sang so much better, even though it's one take and it was live.
Yes.
I think just kind of get into the zone. Like, I think sometimes when you're just dropping in for a verse here and there, you can kind of get it sounding really perfect, but a little bit bland, because maybe the feeling's not there. It's quite an intellectual thing.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yes. Now, I believe it was recorded at Church Studios in London.
Yeah, which is really cool. So we were in there's a set of studios there. We were in the smallest one, which was actually quite nice, because I actually really enjoy being tucked in quite a small room.
Yes, it suits the music.
Where I recorded before is really great studios, Unit 2 in Acton, and really great in there. But the studio is quite big, and I think actually, because I'm so used to living in a small flat and being tucked up on the sofa, I think actually I quite like that for doing my vocals.
Yes, that would make sense. And the Church Studios is where U2 and Adele have recorded before.
Yeah, and Mumford and Sons have a studio there, and all these huge names kind of coming in and out.
That's it.
So yeah, no, it's a very cool place.
You're saying this EP was the one that was just you acoustically, whereas before then you did another EP that had more instruments?
So yeah, so the last EP is acoustic with violin and pedal steel.
Yes.
So yeah, very, very strict. And then the one before was full band.
Right.
So I do like to go between the two. And also playing full band is so much fun with your friends.
Oh, yes.
And I really miss that after a little while.
Yes. Well, I guess you can do both, as you're doing tonight, the full band, and then other times.
Yeah, and I think that'll be really good fun, actually.
Yeah.
And also, it's nice to be a bit noisier. So like tonight I'm going to do a full band start and an acoustic middle, full band end.
Okay, right.
But then it's also kind of a matter of convenience sometimes, because when I went out with Eka and the Bunny Band before Christmas, they've got a big setup. So
yes, you supported them on 2 or 3 shows last year.
Yeah, I did 3 so we did Southampton, Leeds, and Edinburgh, by a straight line upwards.
Yes.
But yeah, they have a big setup, so they kind of wanted me there just acoustically. So it's me and a violinist. And which I love doing as well, but it's quite nice to kind of mix up a little bit sometimes.
Yes, it must have been great to support them.
Oh, really, really great. They're such great guys as well. And also, it's just a really good learning experience, because watching a band like that at that level,
yes,
it was, they're doing some things which are just amazing. So,
yes.
Yeah, it's a really, really great experience. Hopefully do it again.
You're going to be on stage again later this evening?
I am indeed. So I think I've got to get some food.
Right.
And then it's going to, but it's really looking forward to it tonight.
Do you have tea or coffee before you go on, or what do you?
Well, this has been a dispute with my girlfriend, actually, because I do often drink quite a lot of coffee before I go on.
Oh, right.
Or enough to feel like I'm going to have a good performance, but then obviously it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I can't sleep. So,
yes, that's right.
So I'm going to go easy on the coffee tonight. I might have one now, maybe that's the way.
But not. Maybe you should switch to tea before a gig, perhaps, or.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, actually, I often have like green tea and honey, which is so nice for the voice. Really nice, actually. A little bit of salt, which unfortunately makes it taste bad, but it makes you sing well. So. Yes.
Well, great. Well, we shall let you get to your coffee, but not too much.
Yeah, exactly.
For the gig.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for talking.
No, you're welcome. It's been great to have you on the show. We hope it goes well tonight. We shall follow your progress, and we shall send your links out to our listeners.
Perfect. No, thank you so much for having me.
Great. Have a good gig.
Have a good night.
Sometimes I